when I went to his bedroom to say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring in this school system.
Then why did you stay in Mexico?
You need to leave.
All right, let's face it. Everyone's thought it. Go on, admit it. Doesn't it feel good? Here's the deal. Americans don't get enough credit for being insanely compassionate. Think about it. Name any other country that would tolerate millions upon millions of people waltzing in uninvited. You can't. Most places would slam the door in their face. Take Mexico, for example. Ever read their constitution? They're not exactly rolling out the welcome mat for illegal immigrants. But here's the thing. They save their harshest policies for the folks who aren't trying to just pass on through to their way to the U.S. You know, as if to say, go bother the gringos. They've got all the good stuff, right? All right, before we go further, if you haven't already, become a subscriber to the channel. Smash that like button and hit that notification bell because it helps us with the algorithm to get our message out to more people. All right, let's face it. Illegal immigration is a very touchy subject. But here's the thing. No other country does show the level of compassion that America does. And yet it's costing us big time. You might be wondering, how did we get here? And who's really paying the price? Well, stick around because what you're about to hear might surprise you. Now, first up, national security. If you're concerned about keeping America safe, you're not alone. Without proper vetting, the U.S. opens itself up to drug traffickers, gang members, and yes, even potential terrorists. Imagine leaving your front door wide open. Bad things can happen, and they did because the Biden regime left a completely open, porous border, and all of the above actually came in. Now, let's talk about the rule of law. Crazy idea, right? Conservatives believe laws exist for a reason, and breaking immigration laws sends a dangerous message. It says that laws are optional. And you know what that leads to? A slippery slope no one wants to slide down. But here's the gut punch. You're paying for it. That's right, you. Illegal immigrants use public services like healthcare, education, and welfare. And guess who's footing that bill? It's not them. Just look in the mirror. If your taxes are way too high, now you know why. And don't even get me started on the economic impact. Think about this. Competing for a job with someone who is willing to work for peanuts because they lack legal status. It's like showing up for a race only to find out someone skipped the starting line. It gets better. Let's move to cultural integration. Conservatives cherish the melting pot idea. We really do. Where immigrants blend into American culture. But when people bypass the legal process, it can create divisions. Isn't unity what we're all about, liberals? Here's another thing. Border security costs. Preventing illegal immigration isn't cheap, but conservatives argue that prevention is better than cleaning up the aftermath. Don't you think? Would you rather fix a leak on your roof or deal with a flooded basement? Exactly. Now, there's fairness as well. Illegal immigration isn't just breaking the law. It's a slap in the face of people waiting their turn legally to immigrate into our country. Imagine standing in line at Starbucks only to have someone cut in front of you. That's infuriating, right? Imagine waiting 9 years to go through the process and putting all the money out that you have to for lawyers to become a U.S. citizen. It just diminishes it. It demeans the citizenship process to allow up to 20 million people to come in without going through that. And let's not ignore the crime rates. Sure, not all illegal immigrants commit crimes, but many of them do. From gang violence to other criminal activities, it's another reason why securing the border matters, to protect Americans. Americans first. Now here's a big one, sovereignty. A country that can't control its borders isn't much of a country. If you didn't have walls around your house, the house would collapse. But if you didn't have walls on your house, or if one wall was missing, would you have a home? No. Ignoring immigration laws undermines America's ability to protect its economy, security, and identity. Finally, let's talk about the magnet effect. If you don't enforce the rules, you're basically putting up with a flashing neon sign that says, no consequences here. The result, it's a revolving door of illegal crossings. Now, remember, the Trump administration has made it a policy to first go after the violent, criminal, illegal aliens to protect the American people. You know, America first, right? Now, Tom Homan, who's heading up the ICE raids, is saying that if they have a target who is a violent, illegal alien criminal, and he's hanging out with other illegals who aren't violent, they're not going to ignore them. They're going to capture them and deport them as well. I mean, why not? They broke the law by coming here illegally. So the administration going after the violent criminals like murderers, rapists, sexual assault criminals, who in their right mind would come out against that? The Democrats, that's who. Democrats and fake news leftist media are screaming like banshees that, well, these are just people who want to come here and start a better life. People who come into this country illegally and murder Americans, rape women, beat people, commit armed robbery, etc., etc., etc. They are not here to seek a better life. And if you are someone who argues against the plan of going after these violent, illegal, criminal aliens, and you believe in sanctuary cities that do so, then you should contact your doctor and ask him if he thinks Paxil is right for you, because you're nuts. All right, thank you for watching. Subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to be kept up to date with all the latest in conservative commentary and current news. I'll see you in the next one. Spread the word.
When I tell you no, you throw a tantrum. You're never satisfied.